Hello, beautiful people. I'm Chris Maddox, founder of the Wild Woman Project and Wild Woman Fest. And I'm speaking to you today because we always meet like this at new moon time. And the new moon is upon us. It arrives on July 9th, 2021, and it begins a moon cycle which will last 29 and a half days. So each and every time the moon is new or it's dark, we can, if we want to, really ask ourselves, how do we want to begin this? It's a really good time for sitting in meditation, sitting in circle, for crafting intentions. Because life is constantly asking us to plant seeds, to grow things inside and out. And life is constantly asking us to let go, to lay things down, to grieve what is past. So, this looking to the moon and watching over the course of every 29 and a half days, this amazing dance from total darkness at the beginning, swelling into like a fullness or a ripening, and then the waning and the back down into the darkness is such a perfect metaphor for the cyclical nature of life. And every single evening we can look up and get that lesson, among others, from the moon. So here at the Wild Woman Project, each and every moon cycle, we carry a focus or a theme. And each and every year, and we do our Wild Woman Project years are September to September, we carry a broad theme, a year-long theme. And every moon cycle, we sort of look at a piece of that theme. So we are really rounding the corner. We have 2 more moon cycles in our To Wield Love year-long focus, where we have been asking the question, if love is in fact the most powerful force on earth, how do we actually wield it? And each and every moon cycle we've been, as we often do as wild women, looking to the elements in nature for further guidance and instruction. So this moon cycle, our element is water. Water. So we're looking at love, this force of love, in the key of water. And zooming in on the dimension of love, which nurtures, which kind of, like when the earth has, especially in the summer, gotten a lot of heat, right? The land and the plants get really dry and they long for the waters. And then when the waters come in, they just soak it up. And it like quenches on the deepest level. I think love is like that too. When we have been starved for love, when we have been living in an environment where there's a lot of focus on fear and hatred, that the nourishing, soul-quenching quality of love is so needed. So needed. So when I was sitting with in meditation, preparing to introduce this theme where we're looking at the way love nurtures, I got this vision as this sort of like etheric woman figure, and she is sort of moving in the air like this, and her hair and off her fingers and off of every part of her body, and I think she was naked in the vision. There were these streams coming off, like everywhere. She could just like send streams of water, streams of love. And I thought about the way, I asked myself really, like, what do I actually do? Like, what ways do I show my love that are nurturing? And I sat down with this, and I made a list. And this is something you could do in your journal this new moon, is to go and to ask yourself, where do I pour my love? Where is it like this watery quality where I am coming with, like, because what is water? Water is, I think it's the great healer of the elements. You can make a case for any of the elements being healing, but I think really water and the fact that we are made of mostly water, the earth is made of mostly water, the fact that the earth is constantly, I'm sitting here by this creek, and the water finds its way, even when there's a big rock, even when there's a curve in the land, eventually the water moves. And I think love can be like that. Love is like that. There's a great line from Rumi where he says, our task is not to seek for love, but to seek to find all the barriers we have built against it. So our encouragement, or the nudge of this moon cycle that we can all really carry and do together, is really focusing on pouring our love somewhere. And focusing on the dimension of love, which is nurturing, which is caring. And I think about, related to the water element, one of the most nurturing things that we can ever experience is something that happened when we were babies, which is someone bathed us. Someone bathed us and cleaned our bodies and made sure we were clean, and thought of my mother being bathed by my grandmother when she was an infant. And knowing that as my grandmother ages, she sometimes receives baths from her daughters, or help cleaning her physical person, and how beautiful that is, and how sweet that is, and how tender it is, and vulnerable it is to be bathed and to bathe. So this moon cycle, you can really ask yourself, and I'll be sitting with you, how can I express my love in a way that is nurturing? I think for everyone that's different. Some of us are great cooks and we love to cook for others and literally feed others. Some of us are singers and artists. We might like to sing to express our love, and sometimes the love is in the quiet little things that we do to ease someone else's load, help them carry what they're carrying for a time. Sometimes it's as simple as making our loved ones smile. Sometimes it's big, or I should say not bigger, but on a scale that involves more people. And we might, do something for our community, or hold a gathering for our community. That can be an incredibly loving, nurturing thing to do. So ask yourself, where and how will I pour my love this moon cycle? And if you land on just one thing, circle it and highlight it and check in with it every week. You can set those kinds of things, like you can write on a little card and set it on a shelf, or on your altar, or on your desk, or on your bathroom mirror. to remind yourself, okay, I'm pouring in my love in this way. And just to keep it in your consciousness. And it doesn't have to be this daunting thing, but just make sure that you tend it just like you would tend anything that you might be growing in a garden. And checking in on it, giving it what it needs, giving it water, helping it along, giving it like the gift and the potent energizer that is your own personal attention. Because, you know, love can express itself so many different ways. And there's a way to love that's love in the key of fire. There's a way to love that's love in the key of earth. There's a way to love that's love in the key of air. And for this one, just letting yourself remember that we are mostly water, that the waters that flow in our oceans, in our rivers, through our faucets, and through our tears are ancient. The water is constantly cycling. So every water that we ever experience is imbued with what has come before. So the tears and the sweat and the blood of our ancestors, the same water has been feeding people and bathing people for a very, very, very long time. And love flows like that too. Don't think love is something that we generate, that we have to create, but love is like a stream that we can tap into and that we channel and that flows through us and beyond us and keeps in some way moving and changing form just like the water does. So the better we can get at channeling and removing, as Rumi said, all those barriers that we've built against it, and just keep letting it flow and keep letting it flow and keep letting it flow, we do a service to all of the beings around us, in all of the descendants in the future that can be continuously passed on from being to being to being to being. If you'd love to explore this theme in the company of other women, that's what can happen at a Wild Woman Project Circle. We have circles happening in 23 countries all over the world. There are a list of circles happening online, so you always reach straight out to the facilitators who have gone through our Circle Leader training program, and you can find a list of online circles and our full list of live circles happening. And find a circle near you where you can explore this theme with meditation and sharing and intention setting ritual. It's a really beautiful experience. And if the idea of holding your own women's circle in your local community seems interesting, kind of tugs at your heartstrings, you can look into our Circle Leader training program, which is coming up this fall. And I will say, finally, we have our final session of Wild Women's School. It's the final of the Two-Wheeled Love series, and it's the final session until fall. And it's 90 minutes. I facilitate. It will be a mix of ritual and practices and community sharing. There will be poetry and music, and you can tune in online from anywhere. It is choose your own price. We have scholarships available, so please come, invite your friends, and it's going to be a beautiful experience. The name of this particular session is Love lives here. If you appreciate this video, please like and follow and subscribe wherever you're watching this, and share in the comments where and how will you be pouring your love this moon cycle. Thanks so much for sharing your attention today. And thank you for being a part of the Wild Woman Project, where we are remembering and reimagining what it is to be a woman untamed.